Now, following the announcement of Carney's trip, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre posting on social media saying in part, quote, hoping Prime Minister Carney will keep his promise and negotiate a win with President Trump to end the U.S. tariffs in their Tuesday meeting. Poilievre went on to say, quote, no word on where the Prime Minister's elbows have gone after he backed down again and again with nothing to show for it. Well, joining us now is Stuart Trew, international trade policy researcher. Stuart, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
I'm good. Let's get into this, shall we, too? Interesting timing that Mark Carney is finally going to head back to Washington. There is word that at least some sort of a deal. Dominic LeBlanc saying he's optimistic. What do you make of this latest trip and the possibility it looks like of at least some of these tariffs and relief from some of them?
Yeah, well, it's good to see the Prime Minister going back after so many months. I mean, we've missed a few deadlines, right, in terms of snapping some kind of deal with Trump certainly on the sectoral tariffs. That's what's really hitting the Canadian economy now. So, when I hear that possibly we have a steel or aluminum arrangement in the cards, I think that's good news, depending on what it looks like. Even some kind of quota system, I think, would be all right at this point, as long as we're lowering those tariffs well below what Europe or Japan or the UK got in their deals with Trump. If you recall, I think they're still paying something like 15% at the low end. So even a deal like that, that keeps tariffs in place, but a low tariff might actually still be bad for the Canadian economy, still creates that pressure for a lot of those steel companies, secondary manufacturing companies, to simply pick up and go to the States where there's zero tariff. So it's all going to depend on what the Prime Minister announces, if anything, as you were saying.
It's been so difficult for these industries with these tariffs over the last number of months, and for this year, 2025 in particular. I know that many Canadians would like to see an overall deal or something bigger, but we know that CUSMA is going to be renegotiated next year. So does it feel like there could be wins in different parts here in smaller increments, possibly over the next few months leading up to that renegotiation next year?
Well, I'm a little pessimistic on this. I think Trump is going to take us for all we've got in the CUSMA negotiations. I think he's displayed a tendency to use whatever leverage he has and can use, right, to get maximum concessions out of his trading partners. And I think we're going to see that in the CUSMA negotiations. So I do think it would be positive in a sense to get some relief in even a few sectors going into those CUSMA and hopefully more, right? So that's the situation we're at. I mean, the reality is, we saw the government is going to Washington and trying to make the case that, their businesses are as hurt as ours are by these tariffs. I don't think the Trump administration cares about that. I think we need to be looking here in Canada about not just, of course, working towards a deal. These are essential, right? We're a highly integrated economy. It's good for our workers here if we sort something out. But also the secondary plans, right? We need to see a much more faster plans, I suppose, around industrial strategies for lumber, for other metals sectors. And now for cabinets, for kitchen cabinets, for furniture, for copper, for other sectors. We need to be thinking about the Plan B, essentially, and putting that into place at the same time as we negotiate these things with Trump, because we might not get the outcome through those CUSMA review negotiations that we are hoping for.
There are lots of industries there, but for you, what would that Plan B look like, briefly, before I let you go?
Yeah, well, it's bringing together industry workers and government to develop some kind of way to develop new sectors. If it's in lumber, we've heard the government talking about value added, right? Novel wood products that you can use in construction. And then some kind of strategy for getting those deployed throughout Canada as a kind of stopgap, right? As we're facing these issues with the United States. That means buy Canadian conditions on some of the projects we're planning to build, right? A lot of infrastructure, public services, and housing. And those plans have to come together. They can't just be kind of stated. We need to be putting some meat on those bones. Otherwise, we're not going to be ready for a potentially rocky CUSMA review, where Trump, for all, he might just decide to pull out. As he did last time, right? I wouldn't put that past him. So that's the kind of plan. It's a government, industry, labor, coordinated industrial strategy, as they're doing all around the world, right? There's nothing strange about this, and I think we have to start doing it sooner than later.
Stuart Trew, international trade policy researcher. Thank you for this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.